So, you're running a business in Qatar, and let's be real, China is a powerhouse supplier for just about everything. But getting those goods from their factory floor to your front door, that can be a massive headache. Well, in this explainer, we're going to cut through all that confusion. We're going to give you a simple, practical guide to make sure your next import is a total success. Let's dive in. You'd think the biggest problem would be the thousands of kilometers between China and Qatar. But honestly, that's the easy part. Modern ships and planes can handle that, no problem. The real tricky part, the thing that causes all the stress and hidden costs, is somewhere else entirely. Yep, it's all the stuff that happens in between you clicking buy and the goods arriving. It's the mountain of paperwork, the endless coordination, the confusing regulations. This is where a great business deal can turn into a complete logistical nightmare. Does this list give you a bit of a headache? I mean, you've got to pick the perfect shipping method, try to make sense of crazy schedules, figure out what all those port fees even are, somehow get through customs at Hamad Port, and then you still have to sort out the final delivery in Doha. Every single one of these is a place where things can go wrong. Okay, but here's the good news. It doesn't have to be that complicated. There is a clear way forward. You really only need to get your head around 4 main options to totally own your supply chain. So let's break them down. And this is what's so great about this approach. It takes all those messy problems and boils them down to just 4 clear channels. It doesn't matter if you're shipping a tiny sample or a warehouse full of stuff. Your decision is going to land on one of these 4. Each one is a tool for a specific job. All right, so the very first big decision you're going to face is that classic dilemma. Do you need it fast or do you need it cheap? And that brings us to the 2 heavy hitters of global shipping, air freight and sea freight. Look, if speed is everything, air freight is your go-to. But don't just think of it as shipping. Think of it as a strategic tool. It's how you react lightning fast to customer demand, or restock expensive items without tying up a ton of cash in inventory. It keeps your business moving. And when we say fast, we really mean it. We're talking about your cargo getting from a major airport in China to Hamad International in Doha in just 2 to 5 days. It is the undisputed king of speed. Now, on the flip side of that coin, you've got sea freight. This is your secret weapon for building a cost-effective supply chain. It's hands down the best way to get your per-unit cost way down, which means better profit margins for you. It's perfect for things that aren't in a huge rush. Now, even with sea freight, you've got a couple of key choices. There's FCL, full container load. That's like booking a whole taxi just for yourself. It's private, faster, and safer. It's perfect for bigger shipments, say over 10 cubic meters. Then you have LCL, less than container load. Think of this as a rideshare. You split the costs and space with others. It's great for smaller shipments, but it can take a bit longer. The bottom line, you've got to know your volume to pick the right one. But hold on, what if your main goal isn't just speed or cost, but simplicity? What if you just want your stuff to show up at your doorstep with absolutely zero hassle? Well, that's where the ultimate convenient solution comes in. This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? Door-to-door or DDP shipping is for anyone who wants to just outsource the entire headache. It lets you focus on what you do best, selling and growing your business, instead of getting lost in logistics. And this is exactly why it's so easy. The service literally handles everything. They pick it up from your supplier in China, they do all the export stuff, they manage the freight, they clear customs in Qatar, and get this, they use their own license, and then they deliver it right to your address. The most important part, you don't need your own import license. That's a game changer. And it's not a one-size-fits-all deal. You can get DDP by air if you need speed for anything over 25 kilos. Or for bigger things, you can choose DDP by sea to save some money for anything over 1 cubic meter. They can even use express couriers for really tiny parcels. Okay, so we've laid out the 4 main paths. Now for the most important part. How do you actually pick the right one for your business, for your shipment? Let's walk through a super simple way to decide. First question, and is the easiest one, is your number 1 non-negotiable goal to get your products to Qatar as fast as humanly possible? If you just nodded your head yes, then the choice is obvious. Air freight. It's designed for exactly that. Simple. All right, next scenario. Let's say you've got a pretty big shipment coming, maybe more than 10 or 12 cubic meters, and your main focus is on the budget. You need the lowest possible cost for each item. In that case, sea freight is gonna be your best friend. specifically a full container load, FCL. It will be by far your most cost-effective choice. It's all about getting the best bang for your buck on big orders. And last question, is your time your most valuable asset? Do you just want to focus on your business and not have to think about customs forms, carrier phone calls, and tracking numbers? If that's you, then look no further. The door-to-door DDP service was literally made for you. It's the set it and forget it option that gives you total peace of mind. See, importing from China really doesn't have to be this big, scary, complicated thing. Once you understand these core choices, you can build a supply chain that's smart and predictable. Let's wrap this all up in one final summary. This table right here is your ultimate cheat sheet. Seriously, it puts all 4 methods side by side and compares them on what matters: speed, cost, what they're best for, and how convenient they are. You can see in a flash that air freight is the speed king, sea freight is the budget champ for big stuff, express is for little parcels, and DDP is the undisputed winner for convenience. It's everything we've talked about on one screen. So, next time you're about to place that big order from China, you'll know exactly what to do. You're now equipped to make the smartest possible choice. The only question is, which route are you going to choose to fuel your business's growth?